NLWN-TV now brings you the In the Dugout show. A look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, join us in the dugout.
Welcome to our Game 2 edition of In the Dugout. Now, very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the Waupaca Lakemen in the Battle on the Chain tournament in Waupaca. The Lakemen are currently 12-6 and play in the Dairyland League. I know it's confusing, but the Dairyland League is different from the WBA Dairyland League that the Cavs' last opponent, the Everest Merchants, play in. The Lakemen have an overall record of 12 wins and 6 losses and are 7-2 in Dairyland League play. Their most recent win was a 3-0 win over the Pulaski Reds last Sunday. Now, they're being led at the plate by Ryan McCuskey, who's hitting at a .480 pace. Brandon Canterbury follows, adding power with 4 home runs while hitting .386. Jake Pankratz at .310 and Walker Smith, along with Johnny Popham at .306 each, round out the Lakemen, hitting over .300. On the mound, the Lakemen are being led by Adam Kennedy, who boasts a 4-0 record in 25 2/3 innings pitched with an ERA of 1.36. He's followed by Cam Seidel, who's pitched 26 innings and given up only 4 earned runs for an ERA of 1.08 and a 2-1 record. The Cavaliers come into this tournament trying to lock in the better play that they've been seeing over the past several games. Now, leading the way for the Cavaliers at the plate is Gabe O'Brien, who's hitting at a .425 pace and has driven in 16 RBI on 17 hits, including 5 doubles and 2 home runs. Right behind O'Brien with a .390 batting average is Cooper Kapanke, who has 16 hits, including 4 doubles. Campbell Kapanke and Caden Erickson are next at .344, and rounding out the Cavaliers hitting over .300 is Xavier Bemnister, who's hitting at .314. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Lucas Costley. He's posted a 6-0 record with a 2.49 earned run average and has struck out 44 in his 43 1/3 innings pitched, including 3 complete games. Andrew Milner has a 3.49 ERA with a 1-2 record. Leading the Cavaliers in saves is Tyson Woodcock, who has picked up 2. Jalen Pascal, along with Jackson Vance, come out of the bullpen with ERAs of 4.50 and 5.68, respectively. As a staff, the Cavaliers have a combined ERA of 4.20 with a WHIP of 1.68. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile. This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more in the dugout coming right up.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Thursday, July 6th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers hosting the Sparta Miller from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 7:05 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Thursday, July 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Up next, the Cavaliers face off against the Waupaca Lakemen in the Battle on the Chain tournament from Waupaca. It's been a busy day of baseball, and it could get even busier if the Cavaliers qualify for the championship game. Now, keys to today's game, it sounds like a broken record, but simply put, can the Cavalier pitching staff continue the pitching efficiency that they've shown over the past several games? And do they have the arm strength to carry them through this long day? Also, can the Cavaliers keep the bats working like they've shown signs of doing, but chain hits together to produce some runs? Now today the Cavaliers' second opponent is the 12-6 Waupaca Lakemen, who also want to keep sharp so that they can stay in the pennant race in the Dairyland League. Now that all means that you're about to see some exciting Cavalier baseball, and we'll have it for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Now in just a moment, I'll be rejoining the rest of our broadcast crew in Waupaca as we bring you all the action of today's second game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the Waupaca Lakemen. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a presentation of NLWN-TV. Stay tuned. Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air. The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV proudly brings you today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us as we follow the Cavs while they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball into left field. Could it be? Could it be? Way back. It's off the fence and it's out of here. It's a 3-run home run and the Cavaliers take the lead.
And now, out to the ballpark for coverage of today's game.
And welcome back to Lakemen Field in Waupaca, Wisconsin, as we're getting ready to give you the Cavaliers' second game in the Battle on the Chain tournament against the Waupaca Lakemen. That's the host team of this tournament. Cavaliers dropped the opener 3-2 to the Everest Merchants, so they're not out of the race for the championship game, but in order to get there, they have to force a three-way tie, which they will do by defeating the Lakemen. And then it goes to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker is runs allowed, which means they will have to defeat the Lakemen by 3 or more runs. What was that, Dan? So the Cavaliers will be the visiting team in this game. So let me run through the starting lineups for today's second game. Leading off is playing third base in this game. Our Geno's player of the game is Caden Erickson. And batting second is a designated hitter, Campbell Kapanke. Batting third, the right fielder, Gabe O'Brien. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Cooper Kapanke. Batting fifth and playing center field, Xavier Bemnister. Batting sixth and catching is Cole Timon. There's a reason we call him the Iron Man. It's a tough job on a day like this to catch 2 games in a row like that. Batting seventh, left fielder Jack Redwine. Batting eighth, the shortstop Ben Boda. And batting ninth, the newest member of the Cavaliers, second baseman Cody Dayton. Now for the Waupaca Lakemen, leading off, playing shortstop, batting first, Johnny Popham. Batting second, the second baseman, Alex Pankratz. Batting third, the first baseman, Luke Bain. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Brendan Canterbury. Batting fifth, the designated hitter, Jason Ellie. Batting sixth and playing left field is Walker Smith. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Ryan Dayton. Batting eighth and playing behind the plate is Kyle Douglas. And batting ninth, playing right field, is Tyler Dayton. And pointed out a little earlier that this is the Dayton show. The Cavs have one of them and the Lakemen have 2 of them. And I should mention Rick Olson along with Ann Monroe on the computer and Dan Petchow up on the camera to bring you all the views of today's second game of the Cavaliers taking on the Waupaca Lakemen. And keeps trying to nudge me with those words. They're coming. It's a toasty day here in Waupaca, and fortunately we have a very high overcast. I'm not sure if those are clouds or smoke or whatever, but hopefully it's not clouds. And it's 81 degrees at game time and plenty of humidity, and both teams are warming up down along the sidelines, so we should be getting ready to go here in just a moment. And while we wait for all that to happen, we'll take this time out as you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Jason, let's go see your room. Hey guys, it's me, Isabella Gomez, filling in for Smokey Bear because he's got more to say than just...
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Like, if you're outside enjoying a barbecue, don't let a hamburger distract you from fire safety. Make sure you aren't dumping your hot coals or ashes onto the ground because that could start a wildfire. So take wildfire prevention seriously and let's save the world one day at a time. Juntos con Smokey Bear, podemos hacerlo. Go to smokeybear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
And we're back here at Lakemen Field in Waupaca, getting ready for the Cavaliers' second game in the Battle on the Chain tournament. And the Cavaliers are taking on the Waupaca Lakemen. Cavaliers struggled at the plate in game one, and it really shows. The Cavaliers picked up a couple of runs, but they only gathered 3 hits. And you're not going to win a whole lot of games with only 3 hits. The Cavaliers played relatively clean baseball. The only error in the game was on Caden Erickson with slightly mishandled hard shot to him that caused a runner to get on base and actually didn't do any harm eventually. So basically, the Cavaliers had 2 runs on 3 hits, and they committed 1 error. The the Everest Merchants had 3 runs on 5 hits. Jackson Vance turned in a really nice pitching performance in that game, taking the loss. He went all 7 innings and only gave up 5 hits. The 3 runs that he gave up were all earned runs. But he struck out 5, I believe it was. Take a quick look here. Yeah, he struck out 5 in his 7 innings pitched. And he walked 4. So a pretty good outing for Jackson Vance. And he just didn't get a whole lot of run support by the Cavaliers. And so hopefully they can light a little bit of fire under those bats and see if they can't pick up some better hits in this game. By the way, I mentioned that our Geno's player of the game is Caden Erickson, and he was our Geno's player of the game in game 1. And he came through for you in game 1, so his at-bats really don't mean anything, but I'll be reminding you that tomorrow you need to go out to Geno's Pizza and get yourself a free appetizer for your table, because in spite of the lack of run production that the Cavaliers had in game 1, Caden managed to score one of them. And in that one, he didn't use a hit to do it. He got on base when he was hit by the pitch and eventually came around and scored. So go out to Geno's tomorrow, and Geno's will provide for you a free appetizer for your table. Just mention Caden Erickson's name, and you'll get yourself that appetizer. And as Ann has said many times, those appetizers out at Geno's are mighty tasty. And I would tend to agree with that. In fact, when Caden came in and scored, Ann started dancing in the seat next to me here as she was running the computer saying, "We're going to dinner." All right, they have the batter's boxes marked now, and so we are just about ready for this game to get underway. The Cavaliers will be the visiting team in this one, which makes sense because this is the Waupaca Lakemen's home field. As I mentioned, if the Cavaliers can find a way to win this game and force a three-way tie, then it goes to the tiebreaker, which is runs allowed. And the Cavaliers have allowed 3 runs, and the Lakemen have allowed 0 runs, and the Everest Merchants have allowed 6 runs. So basically it boils down to the Cavaliers and the Lakemen, and if the Cavaliers can defeat the Lakemen by outscoring them by 3 or more runs, in fact, they'll have to outscore them by 4 runs, I believe, and not allow them to get enough to put them over the Everest Merchants amount. So they've got to hold them to 3 or less and outscore them by 4 or more. Yes, that sounds complicated, but it really isn't. It's just how many runs are allowed. And so the Cavaliers do have a legitimate shot at getting into the championship game that's scheduled for 7:30 tonight. Now, if they can do that, it would be a kind of a repeat of what happened in the regional finals for the WBA tournament last year, when the Cavaliers defeated the Everest Merchants to force that 3-way tie, and they got into the WBA finals in Waupaca by lower points allowed, or lower runs allowed. And so we're still waiting here for umpires to come out on the field, and the managers will meet, and we'll be ready to get things started. We're running a couple minutes behind schedule because this game was scheduled for 4:45 and it's now 4:50. So we're just waiting for that to happen. We're going to take a bit of a time out while we wait, and you're tuned to Cavalier Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, July 8th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Central Wisconsin Bandits from Merrill, Wisconsin. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with Cowboy Kickoff at 1:55 p.m. That's live Eau Claire Cowboy football on Saturday, July 8th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Thursday, July 6th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers hosting the Sparta Miller from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 7:05 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Thursday, July 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
So we're back here in Waupaca at Lakemen Field. There are umpires in the vicinity. There has been an umpire sighting that was made. Could be rumor. Don't know for sure. But I think that's an umpire down the first baseline. That's what it looks like to me. Yes, it is. And the Waupaca Lakemen take the field as we're getting ready to get things started. Taking a look at the Lakemen defensively, at third base is Ryan Dayton. And at second base, or check that, at shortstop is Johnny Popham. At second base is Alex Pankratz. At first base is Luke Boehm. Behind the plate is Kyle Douglas. Out in the outfield in left field is Walker Smith. In center field is Brendan Canterbury. And in right field is Taylor Dayton. And the Cavaliers going to try and put more than 3 hits on the board in this game, which can maybe get some runs put together. They need a bunch in this game if they have any hopes of getting into the championship game for the Battle on the Chain tournament. If they do make it to that game, we'll have it for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Leading off the top of the first inning for the Cavaliers is Caden Erickson. Erickson went 0 for 2 in game 1. He did get hit by a pitch, and then he came around and scored, which is why you have appetizers coming from Gino's Pizza. Stop out there tomorrow and mention Caden's name. He fouls that one away. Count is no balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch is a called 3rd strike to Caden Erickson. He wasn't real happy with that one. He thought it was a little bit inside. That's going to bring up designated hitter Campbell Kapanke, who went 0 for 3 in the first game. Line shot foul down the right field line. No balls and 1 strike. On the mound is Cam Seidel. Might be Seidel. He comes into the game with a 2-1 record and a 1.08 earned run average. Swing and a miss for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's given up 4 earned runs in 26 innings pitched. 42 strikeouts in that same period of time. Walking 8 and allowing 8 hits. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's now up to 44 strikeouts for Seidel. Brings up Gabe O'Brien. O'Brien went 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner, and he's just rearing back and throwing fastballs. Nothing fancy. Here's the pitch. Fastball low for a ball. He doesn't take a whole lot of time working on the mound. The wind and the pitch, that's low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch. Strike 2 called. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He struck out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors for the Cavaliers. Nobody left on base. We've played a half inning, and it's the Cavaliers 0 and the Lakemen coming to bat on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
I love the pizza we get when we go to Gino's Pizza.
That's because Gino's has been voted best pizza in the Chippewa Valley 5 years in a row.
I think it's because Gino's uses the freshest ingredients, premium quality meats, cheeses, savory spices, and zesty toppings, and all served with attention to detail.
Now you're making me hungry. Let's head to Gino's Pizza.
Scott and the rest of the folks at Gino's Pizza would like to invite you to come out and try the area's best pizza. Call about Monday through Wednesday dine-in specials at 715-835-2000. That's Gino's Pizza at 5110 Fairview Drive, Eau Claire, right next to Chaos Water Park.
And we're back here in Waupaca, Wisconsin at Lakemen Field. Rick Olson along with Ann Monroe, Dan Petchow on the camera. No scores. We head to the bottom of the first inning, and that last advertisement that you just saw was for Gino's Pizza. And again, don't forget, Caden Erickson is our Gino's Player of the Day today, and he scored in Game 1. So when you go out to Gino's tomorrow, you mention Caden's name, and you can get yourself an appetizer for your table. It's a limit of 1 per table, but there's plenty on those appetizers to share. I mean, they're just supposed to whet your appetite so that the pizza can be the main attraction. And they have really good pizza out there. Tyson Woodcock on the mound for the Cavaliers. He has a record of 0-1 with a 6.60 earned run average. He's given up 11 earned runs, struck out 11 in 15 innings pitched. Tyson and Woodcock can bring some pretty hard throwing fastballs. Leading off for the Lakemen is Johnny Popham, the shortstop. Comes into the game batting comes into the weekend batting .306. The Lakemen did play earlier against the Everest Merchants. They played last night, and Lakemen won that game 4-0. Here's the wind and the pitch. High pop-up. It's in the infield. Woodcock circling under it. He makes the catch. One pitch, one out. Brings up Alex Pankratz. Pankratz batting .172. He's playing shortstop. Woodcock winds and delivers. It's high for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. Popped over into foul territory, and it's out of play. Off the roof of the maintenance building over there. One ball and one strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. Foul back into the screen. One ball, two strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. And that got him in the arm. Well, at least Woodcock waited till the second batter to hit the batter. It's going to bring up Luke Boehm, batting .293, playing first base. He's got 17 hits, three of which are doubles, and a home run on the season. That home run was a solo shot because he's got only one RBI. Pitch is high for a ball. He has scored 10 runs, struck out 9 times. Here's the pitch. High pop-up, foul out of play. That was aiming at the truck again. Can't have too many balls hit the truck because it would knock the rust off and things would start falling off. Here's the pitch. And it's a strike called on the inside corner. One ball and two strikes to Luke Boehm. Ground ball over to second, grabbed by Erickson. Oh, he didn't grab it. He ran past it. Oh, that's not Erickson out there at second. It's Cody Dayton out at second base. So runners at first and second with one out. Brendan Canterbury. Canterbury batting .386. Strike called on the outside edge. And the pitch, ground ball down third, foul. No balls and two strikes with one out. Here's the pitch. Ground ball foul again on the third base side. Count holds at 0-2. Woodcock at the belt, looks over at second and delivers. Fly ball out into left field. That one's tagged way back. It's off the fence. One run is coming in. So Pankratz came in to score. Boehm checks in at third as Canterbury hits a double to left field. And it puts the Lakemen on top, 1-0. Jason Ellie, the designated hitter, hits one slicing foul down the first baseline. Ellie comes into the weekend batting .240. And a fly ball out into right field. O'Brien going back into the corner makes the catch. And runner tags and scores. That's Boehm. As Jason Ellie gets credit for a sacrifice fly. And there are two out. Canterbury's over at third. And the pitch, foul back at the plate. And the pitch, inside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's in the dirt. It gets away from Timon. Runner coming to the plate, and he's going to score. Two balls and one strike. It is now 3-0. The Lakemen on top of the Cavaliers. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch, swung on a missed, strike two. Here's the wind and the 2-2 pitch. Strike three called. So that'll end the inning for the Lakemen, but not before they pick up 3 runs on 1 hit. There was 1 Cavalier error and nobody left on base. So we've completed 1, and it's the Lakemen 3, Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Back here in Waupaca, heading into the top of the second inning, Cooper Kapanke at the plate. Cooper went 2 for 2 in the first game. He's the one Cavalier who had a good day at the plate. Here's the pitch. Fly ball foul on the right field side. That's beyond the Cavalier fans that are sitting down there under the tents. Oh and 2, and it's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Same umpire crew we had in the first game today. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 3. That's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister. Xavier went 0 for 3 in the first game. That's going to sound a lot like a broken record through the rest of the lineup. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Check swing. No, they say peel down to first, and the first base umpire says, nope, he didn't go. Didn't bring the wrist through. 2 balls, no strikes, and the 2-0 pitch. Bemnister flies it out to right field, shallow right, and moving over is Pankratz to make the catch. That's the first out that's not a strikeout. That's going to bring up Cole Timon, who went 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. It's high and inside for a ball. And that one's in the dirt, and it gets past the catcher for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Jack Redwine on deck. Here's the pitch. Foul ball out of play. That's off the right side. The 2-1 pitch. Line shot, base hit out into center field. Timon rounds first. He's going to hold there. And let's see who we've got going out. Jackson Vance going out as the courtesy runner for Cole Timon. That's going to bring up Jack Redwine. Runner on first, 2 down. Here's the pitch. It's outside for a ball. And the pitch, ground ball over through the hole into left field. So the runners each advance. That'll bring up Ben Boda. Now Ben went 0 for 3 in game 1. Boda steps in. And the pitch. It's high for a ball. Jackson Vance on second. Jack Redwine on first. Here's the pitch. Strike called. Looked like that one might have been right down the middle of Water Street. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Check swing strike. He went around. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 down. The 1-2 pitch. Fouled out of play on the right side. The count remains at 1-2. Seidel at the belt. Taking a look over at second and now delivers. It's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Ben Boda goes down on strikes. And the Cavaliers get no runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 were left. We've played an inning and a half, and it's the Lakemen 3 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
And we're back here in Waupaca. Due up for the Lakemen in the bottom of the first inning it's the bottom third of the order. Ryan Dayton, Kyle Douglas, and Tyler Dayton. Tyson Woodcock on the mound for the Cavaliers. Ryan Dayton comes into the game with a batting average of .429, but he's only had 7 at-bats. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside. Oh, dead ball, they say. It got him. So Dayton hit by the pitch. That's the second batter hit by the pitch, or hit by pitch by Woodcock. That's going to bring up Kyle Douglas. Douglas batting .167. Dayton with a small lead at first. Now he takes another step, and the pitch. Ground ball through the hole into left field. Dayton rounds second and holds, as Douglas is safe at first. That's going to bring up Tyler Dayton. Two runners on, nobody out. And here's the pitch. He squares to Bundy, lays it down in front of the mound. Picked up by Woodcock, throw to first, and they got him, but it's a successful sacrifice bunt. So both runners advance. Ryan Dayton at third, Kyle Douglas at second. 1 out, takes us back to the top of the order. Johnny Popham, who popped out to Woodcock to start the game. One out. Woodcock delivers. Slow and inside. One ball, no strikes. And the pitch. Fly ball out into center field. Is going to fall in for a hit. 1 run's in. Rounding while holding at third. So Dayton comes in to score as Kyle Douglas holds at third and Popham singles to center field. Gets an RBI. It's going to bring up Alex Pankratz, who was hit by a pitch his first time up and scored the first run for the Lakemen. 4-0, they're on top. Here's the pitch. It's high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes, 1 out. Woodcock looks at third, now delivers. Runner goes, and no throw. Swing and a miss for a strike. And so it's 1 ball and 1 strike as Popham is now safe at second. Runners at second and third. And the pitch swung on a miss, strike 2. Woodcock looks and delivers. Fly ball out into center field. Stepping in is Bemnister, and he makes the catch. Throw coming to the plate. Not going to be in time. Throw over to third. They got him at third. So, we have Pankratz flying out to center. And then it's a 8-2 to 5 put out. Now, Douglas does score, but Popham is out at third. So, we've completed 2 innings, and the score is the Lakemen 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. Let Menominee Eye and Optical help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comroe provide both comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract and LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, diabetic retinopathy, glaucoma, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eye care for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, located at 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality, personalized care for you and your family. And we're back here at Lakemen Field, and due up for the Cavaliers, brand new Cavalier, Cody Douglas. And the first pitch is a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is high. 2 balls and a strike. Fouled away on the right side. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. First time through the order for the Cavaliers. Of the 9 hitters, 6 went down on strikes. Back to the top of the order with Caden Erickson. He went down looking the first time up. There's the pitch. Ground ball. That one's right up the middle. And Erickson's going to get an infield hit on that one. So that'll bring up Campbell Kapanke. Last game, Caden Erickson, in spite of being the Geno's player of the game, snapped his 12-game hitting streak, so now he's off to start another one. This is Campbell Kapanke. First pitch is outside for a ball. Campbell struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. Foul back. 1 ball and 1 strike. And the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. And strike 3 called. Campbell goes down looking. Strikeout number 7 for Seidel. Brings up Gabe O'Brien, who struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. Strike called on the outside edge of the plate. The 0-1 pitch. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Seidel at the belt, and he delivers. That one got Gabe O'Brien in the ankle. So he heads down to first. Cavaliers have runners at first and second with 1 out, and Cooper Kapanke coming to the plate. Two outs, my mistake. And a strike called to Cooper on the inside third. No balls and 1 strike. Seidel delivers. That one gets in the dirt, gets all the way over to the screen, and both runners advance. So Erickson's on third, O'Brien on second. Cooper Kapanke at the plate with a 1-1 count, 2 down. Here's the pitch. That's outside for a ball. Douglas did a pretty good job of getting out of his crouch and getting that one before it ended up back at the screen. Kapanke knocks it into fair territory, throw down to first. I think Kapanke thought that was a foul ball, but it wasn't. It went right out into fair territory. And it was picked up by Douglas and thrown out to first. So the Cavaliers go down with no runs on 1 hit, no errors. 2 were left on base. We've completed 2.5 innings, and it's the Lakemen 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Hey, can you chop the pineapple? Chop the pineapple.
Nope. I'm high. How about I wash off the grapes?
Yes.
Okay.
You're already making good decisions when you're high.
I want tacos. Will you drive? I'm a little toasty.
Nope. I'm high. Let's order in.
Don't make an exception when it comes to driving. If you feel different, you drive different.
Tyson Woodcock finishing up his warm-up tosses, starting his 3rd inning of work. Due up for the Lakemen, Luke Boehm, Brendan Canterbury, and Jason Ellie. Luke Boehm got on an error by Cody Dayton, his first time up. First pitch is low and away for a ball. Woodcock winds and delivers. Fouled at the plate. Nice job fielding it by the umpire. One ball and one strike. Ground ball over to second. Dayton scoops it up, throws it over to first in time. So, Brendan Canterbury comes to the plate. He doubled his last time up. And a strike called. One ball, one strike to Canterbury. Check swing ball low. Two balls, one strike, one out. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch. It's inside. Canterbury likes wearing the high socks. I personally kind of like that look. It's a classic baseball look. And the pitch. Fly ball deep into left field. And it's foul. Nothing but a loud strike. Three balls, two strikes. Woodcock winds and fires. That one's fouled straight back. And a swing and a miss for strike three. By the way, Canterbury does have 4 home runs on the season, so that is not that unusual a drive by him. He just hooked it foul. Jason Ellie is at the plate. He hit a sacrifice fly to right field his last time up. And the first pitch is a strike. And that one's in the dirt. Back to the screen. Bounced off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out. 2 down. Or 2 out. Nobody on. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Tyson Woodcock into the wind and the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So a 1-2-3 inning for Tyson Woodcock. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 3, and it's the Waupaca Lakemen 5 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
Back here at Lakemen Field in Waupaca. It's been kind of an interesting drive over here. We were coming down Interstate 39 south of Wausau, go by Stevens Point, and of course the U.S. Senior Open was happening in Stevens Point, and we saw a lot of people surrounding a green at the golf course as the golfers were approaching. And then we get here to Waupaca, and today coming over to the ballpark, there's like a farmer's market or some kind of activity in town. Xavier Bemnister at the plate, swing and a miss for strike one. He popped out to second base his last time up. Pitches outside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. That one's high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Check swing, no, it missed. Hitter's pitch here now for Xavier Bemnister. Look for the fastball right down the middle, and that's what we got, but it missed. So Bemnister draws a walk. It's going to bring up Cole Timon, who has one of the Cavaliers' 3 hits in this game. He singled to center field his last time up. And here's the pitch, and nicely saved by Douglas. And that pitch missed. 2 balls, no strikes. Bemnister takes his lead at first. And the pitch. That's a strike down the middle. Timon steps in. Seidel's 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Seidel at the belt. And the 2-2 pitch. And strike 3. Timon goes down swinging. That's going to bring up Jack Redwine. He singled to left his last time up. With 1 out, Xavier Bemnister on first. Here's the pitch. That one's inside for a ball. Came close to getting Bemnister, or getting Redwine. And it's a ground ball over to second. Toss to short, throw over to first. And they say they got him. So it's a 4-6-3 double play by Redwine to force Bemnister at second and get put out at first. So the Cavaliers go down in the 4th inning with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We've completed 3.5, and it's the Waupaca Lakemen 5 and the Eau Claire Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ball game. Our next broadcast will be on Thursday, July 6th, when we will bring you the Cavaliers hosting the Sparta Miller from Carson Park. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins with the In the Dugout show at 7:05 p.m. That's live Cavalier baseball on Thursday, July 6th on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
We're heading into the bottom of the 4th inning. Tyson Woodcock on the mound. He's going to be facing Walker Smith, Ryan Dayton, and Kyle Douglas. And let's see. Walker Smith went down looking his first time up. Smith steps in. Woodcock delivers. And it missed low and inside. Here's the wind and the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the wind and the 2-1 pitch is a called strike right on the inside corner at the knees. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Check swing, foul, and they're saying it wasn't a foul, it just got away from Timon. And what are they saying? It was a check swing that he didn't go around on. And Walker Smith thought that he called it a missed third strike, so he starts going to first. And the umpire had to explain, no, I did not call that. He was looking down to first base for assistance. Here's the pitch. That one got him in the back. So Walker Smith is hit by the pitch. That's a tough one for Tyson Woodcock to lose. That brings up Ryan Dayton. He was hit by the pitch his last time up. Strike called on the inside edge, right at the letters. Smith being hit by the pitch is the 3rd batter to be hit by a pitch. Fouled back into the screen by Dayton. And the pitch, check swing. No, he did not go. 1 ball, 2 strikes. By the way, Tyson Woodcock, coming into this weekend, had hit 6 batters. He was tied for the dubious lead on that one. Ground ball over to third. And they get the runner at second, and Dayton is safe at first on the fielder's choice. So it's 5-4, and Smith is out at second. Brings up Kyle Douglas. Douglas singled, and then his courtesy runner, Schaefer, scored. Popped out of play. Yeah, it's Zach Schaefer who came in as a courtesy runner for him the last time he was up. Here's the pitch. Fouled back into the screen. Woodcock looks in and delivers. Line shot, foul down the third base line. Third base coach for the Lakemen tried to stab it. I suspect he's not showing it right now, but his hand probably stings a little. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. It's low and away. 1-2. to Kyle Douglas. 1 down, runner at first. Here's the pitch. Ground ball over to third. Throw to second for 1. No, the ball got through. So, Kyle Douglas gets on an error by Cody Dayton. Let the ball go right through his glove. And Schaefer is on to run for him. Zach Schaefer. Ryan Dayton is at third. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, throw down to second, and throw back to the plate. And they called him safe. Cole Timon thought he got the tag on him. And Cole Timon's not very happy with that. He thought for sure he had the tag. But the run comes in. Douglas gets credit for a stolen base. And Dayton comes in. And the first pitch is a ball. Two balls, no strikes. That one's outside for a ball. And the pitch. Swing and a miss for a strike. Runner at second. Woodcock at the belt. And the pitch. Chopper foul. Two balls, two strikes, one out. Woodcock delivers. Short chopper out to first, or out to the pitcher, and throw over to Kapanke at first. So it's Woodcock to Kapanke to get Tyler Dayton. Takes us back to the top of the order, Johnny Popham. Two down, runner on second. One run in for the Lakemen. And the pitch, low and away for ball one. And the pitch, that's low. Two balls, no strikes. And the 2-0 pitch is inside. Oh, he called it a strike on the inside corner. Two balls and one strike. And that one missed. 3-1. Three balls, one strike, two down, runner at second. And it's a soft liner foul down the first base line. Landed a couple feet foul. So it's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Full count to Johnny Popham. Woodcock at the belt. And the payoff pitch. Fly ball out into shallow right field. O'Brien comes in and makes the catch. So, 1 run on no hits. There was 1 error and 1 left on base. We've played 4, and it's the Waupaca Lakemen 6 and the Cavaliers nothing on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Heading into the top of the 5th inning. Due up for the Cavaliers, Ben Boda, Cody Dayton, and Caden Erickson. And the first pitch to Ben Boda is a ball. Boda struck out his last time up. Here's the pitch. Strike called. 1 ball, 1 strike. 7 Cavaliers have that big K after their name somewhere. That pitch missed. 2 balls and a strike. And that pitch is low, 3-1. Hitter's pitch now for Ben Boda. And the pitch. Foul back. Count goes full. Three and 2. And a called third strike. Boda goes down looking. Brings up Cody Douglas, who went down swinging his first time up. That's 9 strikeouts for Cam Seidel in 3 1/3 innings. And they say that Dayton swung on that check swing. No balls and 1 strike. Ground ball over to short, scooped up there by Popham, throw over to first in time. Back to the top of the order, Caden Erickson with a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2 in this game. 1 for 4 on the day. Pitch is outside. 1 for 4 with a run scored, which is why he is our Gino's player of the game, and you can get a free appetizer at Gino's Pizza by mentioning Caden's name when you go out there tomorrow. Two balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Seidel winds in the 2-1 pitch. And it was low for a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ground ball over to third and into left field. Nope, foul ball. So the count goes full to Caden Erickson. The wind and the payoff pitch swung on a miss, strike 3. Erickson goes down swinging. Strikeout number 10 for Seidel. And the Cavaliers get nothing as they go up, three down on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network bring you some tough semi-pro gridiron action. Our next broadcast will be on Saturday, July 8th, when we will bring you the Eau Claire Cowboys taking on the Central Wisconsin Bandits from Merrill, Wisconsin. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN-TV begins.
Be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Couple of defensive substitutions for the Cavaliers. Luke Erickson now playing in center field, and over in left field is Jalen Pascal. At the plate with a 1-1 count now is Alex Pankratz. Pitches in the dirt, 2 balls and a strike. It must have hit him because they awarded him first base. Hit batter number 4 for Woodcock today. It's going to bring up Luke Boehm. Actually, that's the second time Pankratz has been hit. I think maybe it's Tyler Herman in disguise. Luke Boehm is 0 for 2, got on an error and scored a run, his first time up. And there's a good solid base hit to left field. So Boehm is on first, Pankratz on second, and Brendan Canterbury 1 for 2, doubled his first time up and then struck out. We're in the bottom of the 5th. Ground ball foul right back toward us. Canterbury steps in. And the pitch. And now they're saying it's a base hit. So the bases are loaded. That's going to bring up Jason Ellie. I'll be honest with you, I could not see the play. There are now people in the bleachers kind of obscuring our view over on that third base side. Pitches inside, and it hit him. That's an RBI being hit by the pitch. So with nobody out, runner comes in, and Ryan Bemnister heads out to the mound. Let's see if we're going to get some pitching changes going on. Usually not. They're going to talk a little about defense here because the score is now 7-0. The Lakemen on top of the Cavaliers. So with nobody out, bases are still loaded. We've got Luke Boehm on third, Brendan Canterbury on second, and Jason Ellie on first. Walker Smith at the plate, and the first pitch is a called strike. Smith was hit by the pitches last time up. Here's the pitch. That was a little low. Tyson Woodcock has hit 5 batters today. Here's the pitch. Ground ball out to second. Scoop throw over to second, and it goes out into center field. And a run comes in. So, we'll get a fielder's choice with an error on the shortstop, allowing Walker Smith to get on first. Luke Boehm, he does get the RBI for Boehm coming in. And Canterbury scored on the error on the shortstop. And the first pitch to Ryan Dayton is a ball. Over on third now is Jason Ellie. And the throw down to second, no throw. And Timon did the fake pump to second to see if he could get Jason Ellie to commit off a third. One ball, one strike. Pitch. That's low. 2 balls and a strike. Woodcock delivers the 2-1 pitch. It's down in the dirt. It gets past Timon, but nobody advances. Of the 9 runs scored, 3 of them are unearned runs. Here's the pitch. It's inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And Ryan Bemnister is going to come out, and we're going to get a pitching change now. So while we get that all figured out, we'll take this time out on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Regardless of where you are on your path to retirement, you can still take charge of your financial future today. Visit aceyourretirement.org and answer a few questions from Alvo, your friendly digital retirement coach, for free tips, resources, and advice customized for your situation to help you feel confident and prepared for retirement. Retirement looks different for everyone. Make sure you're prepared for your financial future at aceyourretirement.org.
And the new pitcher for the Cavaliers is Dalton Steele. He's one of the new Cavalier members. The numbers for Tyson Woodcock, he went 5+ innings, gave up 9 runs, 6 of which are earned. He's also responsible for the runners that are currently on base. There are 3 of them out there. He struck out 3. And he hit 5 hitters. Did not walk anybody on balls. So Dalton Steele, new pitcher for the Cavaliers. New in many respects. New to this game and new to the Cavalier roster. He was there on Wednesday when the Cavaliers played the Beef River Bullfrogs, but did not see any action in that game. So nobody out, bases loaded. Dalton Steele on the mound. Here's the pitch. And another hit by pitch. That was Kyle Douglas, and it's an RBI for that. And that finishes the game due to the 10-run rule. Actually, it should have been the game when the previous run came in, but it was for the Lakemen in the 5th inning. 4 runs on 2 hits, and there was a Cavalier error, and the bases were left loaded. Final score, final score is the Lakemen 11 and the Cavaliers nothing. We'll have a final rundown on this game when we get to talking baseball, and that'll be coming up in just a moment on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching NLWN-TV's presentation of Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball live on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game. Time now for Talkin' Baseball, with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game, presented by Mama Squirrel's Cleaning and more. And now, back out to the ballpark.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Back here at Lakemen Field in Waupaca, as the Cavaliers had a pretty tough day today, dropping the first game of the Battle on the Chain tournament by a score of 3-2, and then dropping the second one to the Waupaca Lakemen by a score of 11-0. Cavaliers just couldn't put together any hits. The line score for this game was the Lakemen had 11 runs on 4 hits. They committed no errors. They had 5 batters who were hit by the pitch. And then for the Cavaliers, no runs on 3 hits, and the Cavaliers committed 3 errors. The winning pitcher in this game was Cam Seidel, and his record goes to 3-1. And Tyson Woodcock goes to 0-2. I'm hoping we get a chance to talk to Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister. This was not the kind of performance he was expecting to see out of the Cavaliers today. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in too good spirits to come over and talk with us today. But we'll see. Maybe he will. He's been pretty good about that this year. And so we'll see what happens. And so, in this game for the Cavaliers, the 3 hits, Caden Erickson, Cole Hyman, Jack Redwine. That was it for the offense by the Cavaliers. They got a runner as far as third base. That was Caden Erickson. He got over there on a wild pitch. Gabe O'Brien was hit by the pitch, and that moved Erickson over to second. And then on a wild pitch, Erickson went to third, and O'Brien went to second. And that was as close to scoring as the Cavaliers got. So in the championship game of the Battle on the Chain, we are going, well, if you were here, you would see the Waupaca Lakemen, and I'm looking for my Battle on the Chain brackets here. Well, my goodness, why do I not find it when I need to? I'm looking for the team coming out of the other side. And I don't see it here. It's amazing how papers can disappear on you. Ann found it. I knew I should count on Ann. And I believe it is the Hortonville Star, or is it? No, it's the Kewaskum A's are going to be in that championship game as well. And joining us now is probably a not real happy Ryan Bemnister. And Ryan, I feel for you. This was not what you wanted out of this weekend.
No. The boys know it too. It's on them. They know that. We had a conversation just now about everything and expectations. We didn't even really talk about this game, to tell you the truth, just because this isn't the Cavs team that should be playing right now.
Right.
The guys that are on this team, it's a completely different team than what they're playing like. That's what's frustrating, because they are better than this 100 times, and they all see it, they all know it, they're all getting a little annoyed with it, and I actually had a couple of players give the post-game speech today, and I hope that kind of rang the bell a little bit, we'll say.
And it didn't help. I mean, Tyson Woodcock, aside from putting 5 batters on by hitting them, didn't pitch that badly. He only allowed 4 hits, and he was not doing that badly aside from hitting a few hitters. But you guys ran into a buzzsaw pitcher today too.
Yeah, that's probably the best pitcher we've seen all year long, and we won't see another pitcher like that probably at all, to tell you the truth. A guy that throws like that and mixes it up. I mean, his slider, they were talking about how bad, nasty it was.
And fast.
Yeah. Very fast.
And, it looked like there were jet flames coming off that baseball that was coming in, and it was making their catcher, Douglas, his glove just popped.
Yeah.
And so I kind of go, well, they got to find a way to hit him. And even though it was shortened by the 10-run rule, I think he picked up 10 strikeouts.
Yep.
And so, he was on his game, and it didn't help that the Cavaliers weren't.
No, that's the thing. We combine the two things together, and you're going to have a pretty bad day. So we're just going to flush this one away. We're going to come back. I took the boys to take a couple days to relax, have a beer, get on a boat, clear their minds, and then come back ready to
Go
work on
catch a
Thursday.
fish or two.
Yep. Just come back for Thursday against Sparta, and we'll be all right.
And do a little regrouping and so on. And as Sparta Miller are down here, they struggled as well down here at this tournament. Lost the first game they played 13-0, and then lost the second one. I think it was like 7 or 8-1.
Yep.
So they had a tough time too. So both teams are going to be looking to do a little bit of repair work come Thursday.
Yeah, I hope so. I really hope our boys come ready to work Thursday, to tell you the truth. And we're going to start treating these non-conference games just a little bit differently than we have been treating them all year long, because we don't have a very good record in them. So we set a goal out there with the boys, so you might see a completely different thing this Thursday.
Okay, well, we'll look forward to that, and we'll talk before the game with Sparta, and thank you for joining us. I know it's not an easy thing to do, and we will talk later, and we'll have more talking baseball right after this timeout on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So we're back here at Lakemen Field in Waupaca, where the Cavaliers have just dropped 2 games here on a Saturday, losing the first one to the Everest Merchants by a score of 3-2, and then dropping this second one to the Waupaca Lakemen by a score of 11-0. Cavaliers a little bit disappointed after this one, and so hopefully we'll get things straightened out come Thursday. So I want to remind you to join us on Thursday on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-TV as we bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Sparta Miller at Carson Park in Eau Claire, with coverage beginning at 7 o'clock with the In the Dugout show, followed by all the play-by-play action. Also join us on NLWN-2 for exciting Eau Claire Cowboy football. Our next game will be Saturday, July 8th, when the Cowboys travel to Merrill, Wisconsin to take on the Central Wisconsin Bandits. Cowboy kickoff starts at 1:45 p.m. That is a little bit of a time change from what our promotional ads were saying, so make note of that. 1:45 p.m. for Cowboy kickoff, and then live play-by-play action follows. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veterans identification, and the Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's Geno's player of the game was Caden Erickson, and in the first game Caden Erickson scored, and that means that tomorrow when you go out to Geno's Pizza and you mention Caden Erickson's name, you get yourself a free appetizer for your table. Let's limit 1 per table, but what the heck, those are mighty good appetizers, and share it a little bit. We want to remind you also that today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game is brought to you by Geno's Pizza, right next to Action City near the intersection of Highways 93 and I-94. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. The Goat Coffee House at 336 Water Street for good coffee and great sandwiches. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. I've had their meatloaf there. It's outstanding. And Mama Squirrel's Cleaning and More, ready to get your house sparkling. Your Napa Auto Parts store at 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Slayton's Technology, the official IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. And Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV. So for Ann Monroe and Dan Petchow, this is Rick Olson reminding you once again, Cavaliers dropped 2 3-2 in the first game, 11-0 on the second. And you've been tuned to Talkin' Baseball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.
You've been watching Talkin' Baseball, a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. This has been a production of NLWN-TV.